Alright everybody, so today's going to be a different type of video. Today we're going to do a how-to video, how to fillet snapper, tuskies and pigfish. Dad and Ellie and Mum and Jeremy went out today on Just Relax, come back with an absolute haul fish. Now it's my job to fillet them, so stay tuned guys and we'll give you a bit of a rundown on how to fillet fish. Hey guys, so today I got it's a knife that I'm going to use is a Mustad 9-inch filleting blade, and also I don't know what this is, just some smaller little blade that works really well. First off we're going to do the tuskfish, probably one of the harder ones, so we'll get this one done first. So to move that out the way, so to start off, get your bigger knife and go in behind the head. So this one's not scaled because we're going to skin it.
I'll see what time we get back from.
And then grab your blade and you run it along the back of the fish. Just run it down the back of the fish like that, down the spine. And then poke it through the other side of the fish, and go through, put your blade down and chop. You let your blade do the work and cut down. Now, so you swap from your bigger blade to your smaller blade. You fold up the skin and you run your small one along the backbone, and pretty much that just creates easier and bigger. There you go. Run it along that backbone. You can hear it. Hear the meat just pulling away from that backbone. You can miss the gut cavity or the cavity or the rib cage. So there goes the rib cage. And then you pretty much run your blade through, and then you grab the tail. This is what I do, grab the tail of it and run it up, and then you can go through like that, miss that gut cavity, and then there you go. There goes that gut cavity, and there's your filleted tuskfish. We'll give that a bit of a wash off and then we'll skin it. Alrighty, so to skin the fish, you grab a pair of pliers and you grab that. Pretty much what you do, grab your pair of pliers. You don't want to cut down into the skin, just pull your knife along the bottom of the skin. You can get a hold of it. So it's not a best skinning job, but there you go. As I said, it's not the best skinning job, but it's alright. Let's throw that in because you don't need that anymore. And we'll do it on the other side. Alrighty guys, so as you probably saw before, I did the tusky. Now it is time to do the snapper. So with the snapper you want more of a flimsy blade, as you can probably see here. It's a little bit more flimsy. You get your flimsier blade, run it down, and same thing. But with a snapper, you can't do one side after another. You have to. So you start it off like that, and once you do that, flip it over the other side. Make an incision just behind the first pectoral fin. Grab your blade, run it down the spine. With a sharp knife, it'll just glide down the spine pretty much, as you can see there. And you pop it out, and then you cut it off. But since we've already made the incision on the other side, it'll be easier now. But you run it, I don't know if you guys can hear that. But you run it along the backbone, and you'll hear like a knocking sound, and that's meaning that you're on the backbone, which means that you get as much meat out of it as you can. But once you get to the tummy, you start to angle your knife up. That's just so you don't get all that unpleasant stuff, all the unpleasant gut cavity stuff in it. So you start, once you do that, once you can hear it now, you can see that, you start going up, you miss that gut cavity, and so you grab your tail end, make that cut there, and then you angle your knife up, just like that, and then cut down. And there's your snapper fillet. So as you guys can see, that's your rib cage. That's where your gut cavity is. By angling your knife up, you can get all that gut cavity, and you miss all that gut cavity, but yet you still get that nice, good quality fillet job. You can guys see there. Flip it over, finish off the other side. So pierce it through again, and then run it down the backbone like before. Once you get through the backbone enough, you can pierce it through the other side, and it just makes it so much more easier. Makes this part is always hard because you got to cut through those big rib bones, but it's so much easier with a nice sharp knife like I got here. Yeah, it'd be easier if you had like a Victor knife, but at the moment they are very expensive, so you got to work with what you got. And all I'm using is that's a Berkeley knife. The other one's a mustard knife, and the other one I don't know what it is. That knife is very sharp. There's your second snapper fillet. As you guys can see, that is pretty much translucent. That's what you want with a good fillet job. Throw him in the water, bag him up, and get on to the second one. The last one actually. So, small snapper, still legal, same thing, flimsy knife, it's cut through the inside, make it on an angle like that, and then you turn the fish around, again, same knife, run it down the fish. You guys probably saw before I was using this one and this one. That's just for the parrotfish and the pigfish, because they were a little bit more stiffer backbones, and you need that little bit bigger knife so that you guys can get through that backbone. But now that you got a snapper, you can use a smaller knife. Well, not smaller knife, longer blade, but still a very, very, very flimsy knife. That's one thing you got to do with snapper, guys, is you need a very, very flimsy knife. If you don't have a flimsy knife, it makes it so much harder to fillet them, because that flimsy knife, because I got such a thick backbone, you can feel that knife running along that backbone so much more easier with a thin flimsier knife. I'll switch over to the mustard knife, show you how much harder it is. So as you guys can see, not much flex in it. So we'll do one side mustard, we'll do one side Berkeley. So, mustard knife, here we go. Alrighty. So you can see how much more hacked up that is. That's with this knife. Okay, now we'll do the other side. Mustard knife. Or this Berkeley knife, actually. So these Berkeley knives, they're only 25 bucks from Anaconda, but gee, they are such a good knife for their value. They are, I reckon they are one of the best knives for how cheap they are. Like, yeah, you got all those guys that spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on money on knives, like Victor and all those ones. But in my personality, in my person, I wouldn't say don't worry about it, because this knife I've filleted sharks with this knife, and as you guys can see how sharp it is. Okay, look at that. So it's mustard, that's Berkeley, just as good. But yeah, that's it. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed that how-to video. Something a little bit different. Hope you learned something from that. But yeah, stay tuned for the next episode, guys.